Okay, so I will read. I don't know. I'm not an author, but I was trying to find a book about focus and I couldn't really find it. So I thought, why not writing my own book? And I just I'm just finishing chapter 1 right now and I'm reading it out loud while I write it. So that's will be the goal of this live streaming. I will just read my own book. But I think it's really well written until now. I really love history, and the subject is very important for everyone. So I'm now reading about uh, the focus and in example, historical examples actually. So let's just continue. So the Ottoman Empire, maybe the music's too loud. Okay. The Ottoman Empire, the weight of internal distraction. The Ottoman lasted over 6 centuries, a remarkable lifespan for any empire. But as time went on, the Ottoman state became entangled in internal conflicts, power struggles, succession crises, corruption, political intrigue, infighting among elites. Instead of focusing outward toward progress, it, it turned inward toward petty disputes. The same dynamic destroys many lives today. A person becomes so absorbed in minor problems, secures gossip, and emotional distractions, they have no mental space left for their goals, their real goals. Focus isn't about ignoring problems, it's about deciding which problems deserve your energy and which ones are simply noise. The Ottoman Empire didn't collapse because it wasn't powerful, it collapsed because it no longer knew where to direct its power. And this is the crucial lesson: strength becomes weakness when it has no direction. The craftsman's mind. Before the Industrial Revolution, most mastery came from craftsmanship. A blacksmith, a calligrapher, a carpenter, a sculptor. These trades require decades of direct focus, not multitasking, not switching careers every year, not dividing attention between 10 interests. Craftsmanship demanded repetition, patience, consistency, depth, resilience, long term vision. These artisans didn't worry about finding their passion. Their passion grew because they focused long enough to become excellent. Excellence creates enjoyment, not the other way around. Oops. Let's let's look at three traditions of craftsmanship that illustrate the power of focus. The medieval guild system, apprenticeship through immersion. In medieval Europe, craftsmen trained for years under the same master. As an apprentice, as an apprentice, you learned by focusing on one skill at a time, first sweeping the workshop, then preparing tools, then observing, then practicing basic movements, then copying the master's work, then attempting original work. Their path was slow, demanding, and deeply focused. By the time apprentices became masters, they had honed their craft through thousands of hours of deliberate practice. The guild system was mastery engine, powered by focus, not talent. Japanese monozukuri, the art of devotion to craft. In Japan, craftsmen embody monozukuri, the spirit of making things. This isn't about productivity, it's about devotion to a single craft, year after year, decade after decade. A sushi chef in Tokyo once trained for 5 years just to prepare rice. No fish, no knife skills, just rice. Why? Because mastery requires layers of precision, not broad strokes of effort. Monozukuri teaches the mind that returns to the same task every day becomes extraordinary. Oh my God, so true. You become what you practice, and you practice what you focus on. The violin makers of Cremona, a legacy of deep practice. Some of the finest violins in history were made in Cremona, Italy, by luthiers like Stradivari and Guarneri. Their instruments are still unmatched centuries later. Why? Because they spent a lifetime focused on a single pursuit, creating the perfect instrument. Day after day, year after year, they applied attention to wood resonance, varnish composition, curvature, acoustics, final adjustments. Their legacy wasn't created by intensity, it was created by focus, the steady daily refinement of one craft. The pattern across history, when you zoom out, a pattern becomes clear. Armies win wars through concentration, empires fall through fragmentation, craftsmen achieve mastery through sustained focus, individuals fail through scattered attention. This pattern repeats through every era and every discipline. It's a universal truth. Focus every focus energy builds, scattered energy dissolves. This applies to nations, armies, companies, and most importantly, individuals. So your life follows the same rules that govern history. If you concentrate your effort, you create momentum. If you scatter your effort, you lose strength. If you protect your focus, you rise. If you dilute your focus, you decline. History is not just history, it's not just the story of kings and empires. It's a mirror reflecting the consequences of attention. So true. Okay, so now let's go to part seven, the first law of focus. So, part seven, The first law of focus: one priority at a time. If you study the most successful people in business, science, art, athletics, or philosophy, you will find a single common trait that stands above all others. They do one thing at a time, and they do it repeatedly for years. Not 10 goals, not five, not even three, just one. This may sound limiting, but in instance, no, in practice, it is liberating. Imagine that you have 100 units of effort. Let me see here. Wait. Imagine that you have 100 units of effort. If you spread them across 10 goals, each goal gets only 10 units. Progress is slow, motivation fades, results are weak, frustration increases. Now imagine directing all 100 units towards a single goal. Rapid progress, deep immersion, reinforcing feedback, compounding returns, accelerating motivation. Progress creates joy. Joy creates momentum. Momentum creates identity. Your brain begins to think, whoa, this is who I am. This is what I do. Oops. This is where I'm going. Focus builds identity faster than discipline does. Discipline is about effort, identity is about belief. When you repeatedly act in the same direction, you create a story about yourself. I'm someone who finishes. I am someone who follows through. I am someone who builds things. I am someone who stays with a goal until completion. This is how mastery forms. My God, this is so true. Not through intensity, but through consolidation. The paradox of modern life: too many choices. We live in a world overflowing with possibilities. Never in human history have people had more options for careers, hobbies, business ideas, books, courses, skills, entertainment, relationships. This abundance of choice is a blessing until it becomes a curse. When there are too many possibilities, the human brain becomes overwhelmed. Psychologists call this choice overload. So true, right? Choice overload leads to indecision, fear of missing out, constant switching, superficial commitment, shallow progress, chronic dissatisfaction. This is why many people try a new career every year, a new hobby every month, or a new skill every week, always starting, rarely finishing. The human mind was not designed to choose between unlimited options. It evolved in a world where choices were few and survival depended on consistent focus. Today, survival is easy, focus is hard. And that's the paradox. The more options we have, the harder it becomes to choose one, and the easier it becomes to lose ourselves. So, why more goals lead to fewer achievements? There's a saying in productivity: if you work on too many priorities, you have no one. Think about this. A person with one goal will likely achieve it. A person with three goals has a chance. A person with 10 goals has almost no chance. This is not pessimism, it's mathematics. The brain the brain doesn't divide focus equally. The brain fragments when overwhelmed. The brain doesn't divide focus equally. The brain fragments on when overwhelmed. In practice, more goals, more switching, less focus. Less focus, less progress, less motivation, abandonment. So true. This explains why ambitious people often achieve less than simple people. A simple, clear life allows for deep focus. A complex, scattered life destroys it. Atomic focus, the smallest possible unit. James Clear popularized the idea that habits compound through tiny actions, repeated consistently. Focus works the same way. It's built one small decision at a time. You don't need to focus for 8 hours a day. You need to focus for next 10 minutes, the next 10 minutes, then the next 10 minutes. Focus isn't time, it's repeated intention. It's repeated intention. The habit of returning to the task, resisting the urge to switch, staying with discomfort, ignoring novelty, protecting your attention, closing loops instead of opening new ones, finishing what you begin. These are the atomic units of focus. Well, that's what everyone needs, right? That's why I'm writing this book. I really need it. I need to learn to master focus, and I think a lot of people need it as well. And atomic focus builds exponential success because every completed action reinforces the internal narrative. I finish things. That's so important. Behavior compounds, results compounds. This is how a single hour of deep focus is worth more than 12 hours of distracted effort. This is why. This is why a person who focuses deeply for short periods will outperform someone who works endlessly in a scattered state. Focus is power, but only when it's fragmented into small, repeatable habits. The fire analogy. Attention is fire. Return to the original meaning of focus, the hearth, the fire. Imagine your attention is a firewood. I'm recording, okay? You have enough wood to build one strong fire, but not enough to build 10 small ones. If you spread your wood across many places, all the fires burn weakly. No one produces heat. No one lasts long. The night becomes cold and dangerous. This is how most people live. Their attention is scattered across messages, side projects, social media, news, multiple goals, unfinished tasks, endless ideas. They have 10 flames, and all of them fade. But if you gather your wood, if you place it under one hearth, if you protect it from wind, if you feed it steadily, a transformation happens. The flame becomes a fire. A fire becomes heat. The heat becomes light. The light becomes life. Your focus is your fire. So beautiful, isn't it? Where you place it determines where you place it, determines what grows in your life and what dies in your life. If you burn 10 things, nothing melts. If you burn one thing long enough, it becomes gold. Alchemists spent centuries trying to turn metal into gold. Modern humans can achieve that transformation not with chemicals but with focus. Focus turns ordinary efforts into extraordinary results. Focus turns vague dreams into concrete achievements. Focus turns scattered energy into a force of powerful enough to reshape your life. So true. Okay. Time is now 6:29. So now we'll go to the missing ingredient. Let's go to the missing ingredient. Oh no, I have passed it. Oh my god, I'm lost. Oh, I'm lost now. The, I have the feeling. Why most people? Yeah, part eight. I had the feeling I didn't. Here's part seven. Part seven, the fire analogy. Oh, first law of focus. Part eight. Why most people lose focus? Okay. Okay. Part eight. Part eight. Why most people lose focus? Up to now, we have explored what focus is, why it matters, and how history, neuroscience, and psychology all point toward the same universal truth. Focus separates those who finish from those who merely begin. Now we must understand another crucial question. Why do most people lose focus, even when they truly want to stay on track? The answer isn't laziness. It's not weakness. It's not a lack of desire, or it isn't. Which one is better? It's not. It isn't. It's not, or it isn't. It's not weakness. It's not a lack of desire. It isn't a weakness. It isn't. I think it's not sounds stronger. I believe it's not. The real causes are deeper, more structural, and more universal. You recognize, oops, you will recognize many of them in yourself, your friends, your family, or your coworkers. Understanding these causes will help you design a life that protects your focus rather than sabotages it. Let's explore them. First, the brain prefers easy wins over hard gains. Humans beings are wired to seek immediate reward. In ancient times, this made sense. Find food, find shelter, avoid danger, rest when possible, save energy, seek quick safety. Long term projects did not exist in prehistoric life. Did not, didn't exist. Didn't exist in prehistoric life. You didn't need to build a business, write a book, learn six languages, or code a system. So the brain evolved to respond strongly to immediate reward. Avoid long term effort, conserve energy, be easily distracted by novelty. This wire remains unchanged. Your brain still thinks like a hunter gatherer, but your goals belong to a civilization. This is why focusing on a long project feels difficult. You are asking your brain to operate in a way evolution did not separate. Evolution didn't. Evolution didn't prepare it for. Modern success requires ancient biology to follow modern rules. This isn't natural. It must be trained. Novelty is chemically addictive. Every time you start something new, a new idea, a new project, a new book, your brain releases dopamine. Dopamine says, this is exciting. Let's explore. This feels promising. But as soon as the novelty fades, dopamine drops, then another idea comes and the cycle repeats. This is why most people start many things, abandon them quickly, move to the next shiny idea, feel productive at first, burn out eventually. They aren't addicted to progress. They're addicted to novelty. Maybe I should include to dopamine as well, right? There's a big difference. Novelty creates delusion of progress without the reality of progress. Your friend who changed university programs 5 times, well, he was seeking the dopamine rush of a new beginning, not the satisfaction of reaching a finish line. The brain tricks you into believing you are improving when all you are doing is restarting the same journey from zero. So true. The solution isn't, sorry, the solution isn't force yourself to enjoy boredom, but to train your brain to recognize deeper forms of reward: progress, mastery, completion, consistency, depth. These rewards grow slowly, but they last longer and build real success. So, the plateau phase kills motivation. Every project has a plateau: learning, business, fitness, writing, all of them. The beginning is fast, the end is rewarding, the middle is slow. Most people quit in the middle. Psychologists call this the valley of disappointment, the phase in which progress feels invisible and motivation collapses. For example, you lose 2 kilograms quickly, then nothing for weeks. You learn 50 words in a new language, then grammar crushes you. Like this. I just lose the focus to get my coffee. Is incredible. Everything is like this in our lives. So let's continue. Oops. You learn 50 words in a new language, then grammar crushes you. Elijah busy, but sales are slower than expected. You write the first chapter but get stuck on the second. You meditate for a week and don't feel calmer. You read 45 pages of a book and feels distracted. The middle phase feels like failure, even though it is just part of the natural curve of growth. This is where focus collapses for most people. They interpret the plateau as a sign that this isn't for me. I'm not good enough. I need a new strategy. I should start something else. This is too hard. Yeah, so true. The plateau isn't a sign of failure. It's the doorway to mastery. The people who push through the plateau become experts. The people who quit before become lifelong beginners. So true. Too many open loops drain mental energy. Every unfinished project is an open loop in your brain. Open loops create mental friction, background stress, anxiety, distraction, guilt, cognitive load. Even when you are not, hmm, even when you're not working on them, your subconscious mind keeps thinking about them. If you have too many open loops, your mind becomes cluttered. This is why people often feel tired without doing anything significant. Too many half finished ideas, too many unfinished courses, too many unread books, too many abandoned projects. So true. I'm reading at the time 3 books simultaneously. Um, and I have this habit and I have to change it. I need to read only one book. Like I'm reading this book here, Meditations on First Philosophy by René Descartes. I just started yesterday, so I read the beginning of it, first 20 pages or 30 pages, not sure. Then I bought another book that I haven't started. So, and I have this habit of reading 2, 3 books at the same time, but this is wrong. I should just focus on one book. I have another book of marketing that is in my bag. I usually carry it around and read it too. So we should focus on only one book at a time. Um, yeah, that's it. We have too many open loops. So, too many abandoned projects, too many unread books, too many plans without follow through, too many someday goals. Your brain keeps track of everything you start, even if you forget about it consciously. When your mind is cluttered, focus becomes almost impossible. This is why one of the most powerful productive strategies is to close loops quickly. Finish something, delete something, delegate something, automate something. Relief is the first gift of focus. Progress is the second. Mastery is the third. And this is so true. Okay, let's continue. One of the biggest enemies of focus is fear. Fear of choosing wrong. People hesitate because they think, what if this isn't the best choice? So true. What if I choose this and something better appears? What if I waste time? What if I fail? So they keep all options open. But options create fragmentation. Fragmentation kills progress. You must understand a fundamental truth. Requires eliminating alternatives. Every choice sacrifice. Every path requires giving up another path. So true. My God. My God. So true. My life could be completely different if I have chosen a different path in the past. So, but I believe in destiny, and but when you give up a path, you open a new path. That's the truth of it. And the people who fear choosing end up never choosing anything, and the fear becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. In the end, they waste more time avoiding. Yeah, in the end, they waste more time avoiding decisions than they would have wasted making wrong decisions in life. Yeah, it's pretty much like Alice in Wonderland. I think I should mention the book as well in my book. Why not? Because Alice in Wonderland, uh, I think she meets the rabbit, right? And then uh, I forgot exactly what happens, but not what happens, but the rabbit tells her something. Any path is the right path for someone who doesn't know where to go or where you're going, but it's something like that. So people sometimes don't choose anything because they are fearing a choice. They fear choosing and end up never choosing anything. And the truth is that anything for someone that is in doubt is better, right? And in life, the best path is readily obvious, but the worst path is always the same. So think here. Here, put in red, mention Alice in Wonderland. So I think I did it and added the book because I think Alice in Wonderland is a classic and everybody likes it. I like it. So most people believe focus requires saying no more than saying yes. That's so true. Most people believe focus requires discipline, motivation, routines, willpower. But in practice, focus requires something much simpler, saying no. Far more often than you say yes. You must say no to distractions, side projects, new ideas, unnecessary obligations, time wasting people, your own impulses, novelty, fear, perfectionism, anxiety, boredom. Every no strengthens a yes. When you say no, scattered attention, you say yes to clarity. When you say no to distractions, you say yes to progress. When you say no to novelty addiction, you say yes to mastery. You can't, let's use can't, not cannot. You can't protect your focus by adding more strategies. You protect focus by subtracting things that consume it. Focus is an act of reduction, not addition. So true. Okay, let's go to part 9. My god, my computer is going mad. I don't know, but what time is now? I think I should have a break. I'm working a lot already today. Finishing chapter 1. Okay, so I think that's it for now. Later I'll continue. Okay, now how do I end the stream? I end here. How could I share on my Facebook? So I think in the cover of the book, I write this message because it's very powerful. Everything you want is already possible if you stop dividing your attention and start directing it. It's so true. My God. Okay, that's it, guys. I'll continue later.